Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to another Let's Play of EU4 with RedBstrd. And we've been assigned a community challenge on the Tell the Person Above You Which Nation to Play thread that we are supposed to play as Brabant. We already did one as Flanders, which was pretty successful. The first video, due to a problem with there was a little power usage issue. One of my USB ports with an old microphone. Anyway, it had interfered with the video I was making. So this will be sort of like a take two, where instead of Flanders, we're playing as Brabant. And I think Brabant has an edge up over Flanders. They are twice as big, at least in terms of total provinces. Yeah, they actually do have over twice the development. So it is the most powerful of all of Burgundy's subjects. So our options, what are we going to put on? Well, we're going to have it normal difficulty, and we're going to have Lucky Nations set to historical. We're going to have dynamic province names set to no, just for convenience to knowing what provinces are which. I usually play without that on. And then we're going to play on Iron Man mode. And I'm not sure if I know any clever names for Brabant. Anything that I could put down here, so we're just going to make it Brabant. Sorry, it's not very clever. I'm going to start it out. Okay, first move says Brabant. We need to get allies so that we could get our independence from Burgundy. And ideally, those allies would include Austria and France. Possibly Castile if we could swing it. But I don't think we're actually going to be able to get any support from any of our fellow subjects. So it's all on us and our allies. Placate Austria. Yep, we're going to do that. I think we'll try to become the Netherlands. That sounds like a great idea. I see no reason why we shouldn't do that. Okay, so can we get anything from our estates? Well, we could get some Diplo power and grant them monopoly charters. Once this gets back up to 50, we'll ask them for some money. We could seek their support and get admin points. We can repeat that for our nobility. So that costs us prestige, which certainly isn't something we want to do right at the beginning of the game. But that's fine. So we got 3 more troops, and we actually do have a tiny little port here. So let's get our ships protecting trade in the English Channel, and we can make 3 more ships. So let's make a trade ship, and we'll save our remaining ducats in case we need advisors. Our merchants look good. Nothing we can really do there. France is neutral towards us, so let's see if we can get them friendly. See if we can get Austria friendly. And we definitely want to be hostile to Burgundy. And we're going to send them an insult. They might spend some prestige to buy down our liberty desire. Let's see who their rivals are. So, France, Austria, Denmark, and England might support our independence. So we're going to ask Austria first. I'm going to crank that up. Now we're going to ask France, and they will. England would not. Denmark would not. So we could improve relations with Denmark to the point that they would accept. And we could probably do it with England as well. I mean, that does sound like a good idea on both fronts. We're allowed 4 diplomatic relations. Those 4 would be great allies. Probably wouldn't be able to keep them all after a war of independence, but that's fine. And we're going to get this guy, only costs us 16 ducats, and we'd still make over a ducat a month. So make it even easier to get these alliances. We are going to need a general, so let's just hire one. And we should put these ships on going home at war. I'm just going to keep an eye on levels of support. So they would support our independence. So I'm going to ask them to do so. And then we're going to start improving relations with Austria. Because that's our mission. Okay, Regency Council. That's really bad for us because we can't declare our independence. But that will give us an opportunity to get some allies. So I am going to reduce our army maintenance. And see if we can hire a military advisor to get us some tech. Burgundy really lost out there because their starting ruler is quite good and he has very good scripted military stats. So by losing him, they lost a big asset. Okay, we placated Austria, got some of our prestige back. And then we're going to try accumulating money. That sounds like a fine idea. We like money. And I just want to take a second to check and make sure that our video is recording properly. That seems to be. Okay, Poland got their union. And we need to have 73 ducats. We can pull this guy back in. We're not going to be declaring war, so we don't need to help out our trade ships get back into port. Okay, England's almost ready to support our independence. Okay, November of 48. So the downside to declaring this independence war I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, so the downside of trying to do it in 48 is that there's so much chance of a war breaking out, particularly when we consider the nations that are involved. That France could start any number of wars and be unwilling to support our independence while that's going on. If they attack Burgundy, then that would nullify the support. And we wouldn't be able to get them as an ally once we're independent. Now, granted, we're going to lose some allies here, thinking that we'll probably lose the alliance with England at a bare minimum. And part of it is going to be who we give territory to during the peace deal. Okay, so now we do have a lot of allies where we're just waiting until November of 48. So when it gets to January of 48, we're going to start paying our troops their full wages. Okay. But we don't want our troops to get stuck here in the middle of everything when a war breaks out. We'll start paying them full wages now. So I'm going to the border here. So when we declare our War of Independence, we're just going to march south into Allied territory. And Burgundy is only allied right now to Brittany. They have not allied Castile. And that's very foolish of them. Okay, so January of 48, getting closer. So I'm going to pull these ships out. And they're just there to give some additional support to our trade ships. So we can merge them all up and get them into our port. Okay, it would make sense to scorch earth on our capital, because our forts are set up in such a way that we have forts here and here, but we don't have anything other than the capital fort. That could fall really quickly before these forts protecting Burgundy do. But at least England could potentially land troops here directly and relieve some of that pressure. England stopped supporting us because of their rebels, I think. And since they broke that, man. Come on, England. Okay, would anyone else do it? Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'll pull these diplomats back. Because we're almost to the point. We can have them work for another month. Almost to the point where we're ready to declare war. November 10th. Congratulations on getting a ruler. And since relations are so bad between us, we don't suffer any penalties, either to aggressive expansion, stability, war exhaustion, anything like that. And Austria, France, and Denmark will all come in on our side, so we have to solve that. But then it didn't tell us that we would lose stability, but we did. So we get that to +1 to help control corruption. And we're going to get these guys out of there as soon as possible. France is giving us subsidies, and our ships are under attack here. Okay, so we lost one ship. The rest will be protected by forts. We're going to move in and attack these guys. They don't have full morale, and we'll probably get support from the French here. Thank you. So we're going to move over to Nantes and see if we can hit them before they get to reinforcements. So our first goal is going to be to take out Brittany while our allies deal with Burgundy. And France is underperforming a little, but now that the Austrians are there, things are looking nice. So we're going to maintain those diplomatic relations, maintain these. Actually, let's pull these guys back and work on Denmark. Okay, Brittany could eject us from here. So I'm hoping that there are a few troops that come over, at least to help us out. And it looks like the Austrians are eager to help us, so... Okay, Brittany just got wrecked. So let's stop them from being able to produce here. And they've cracked the walls on our fort, which is not ideal. That's not our capital. And get this fleet out of there, so we can better control what happens with it. We'll just leave these guys here until we get some more men back. And it looks like France relieved our fort. Good news. Looks like everything's going pretty smoothly. Might have a little bit of war exhaustion, we do. But we still got manpower, so... I'm gonna wait here. Actually, we're gonna now join them. Okay, so our forts are safe at the moment. We should be a member of the Empire. We are a member of the Empire, so that's nice. We could take these Flemish provinces. They're high development, we don't have any claims on them, so that'd be a lot of aggressive expansion. We could take them without the Emperor demanding them back. It might be more beneficial to take these, though. Because I don't think the Emperor's going to demand them of us. Okay. And one thing that we should really do is get some royal marriages on the go. Austria, it's a good one. They don't have an heir. We've already got 40% war score, so that's nice. Okay, keep your fleet there. And we now have enough troops to make progress on the siege against Brittany. Now that we're an independent nation, we can support more troops. So our land force limit went up by 3. Naval force limit went up by 6. Duke of Burgundy dies. And Austria got all the territory around us. So we are independent. We can't get anything out of them. So that's pretty bad. We can't get any of this Dutch stuff without warring with Austria. Yeah, so that happened. And France and Austria are out of the war. It's just us against Brittany. Okay, we promised to improve relations with Cologne, so we'd better do that. But let's give our allies military access. Okay, the good thing about that, though, is that we did lose trust with Austria and with France, because we weren't able to give them anything in that peace deal. But we didn't end the war. So that's kind of a bug. Okay. I think we've got the war score to be able to demand everything we want. There's no reason to draw this out. It would just give us war exhaustion and drain our manpower pool. So we're going to take their money. We're going to make them give out claims here. Well, I guess we could take their trade power. Let's take their trade power. Okay, so we could try to be enemies with Gelra, part of a trade league, but that's going to end as soon as they take this territory. Utrecht, Liege has only one ally, Trier. Well, why don't we do Gelra? Send them an insult. Let's actually make Utrecht our rival too. And embargo them. And then Cleves, maybe? No, let's do Provence. Well, let's see who Provence is allied to. Castile. Yeah, let's rival them. So what I'm expecting here is that Gelra is going to take that province. They're not going to be able to be a member of Trade League anymore, so they'll have to leave. Forward to glory. So that will strip them of most of their protection. Okay, we could humiliate their rival, but we want something actually lets us take that territory. So they can't pick up any more allies, so it would be them and Oldenburg. And if we can stack wipe their army, our army should be bigger than Oldenburg's, so we could just siege out Gelre. Transfer trade power. We're going to do that, just to keep France happy with us, because their trust took that hit. And if we can take Gelre, then they'll put us in a position to get more of this Dutch stuff. Sadly, we can't really easily eject Austria from the premises. Okay, create a proper fleet. We can easily do that. Make another 6 ships after that. I'm just waiting on the spy power. They haven't made any progress. I want them to actually complete that siege before we declare the war, because we don't want to have to fight Genoa. But if Genoa is preoccupied in a war or something, then it wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so we can fabricate a claim here. I'm going to continue getting that spy power up for when we do fight the war. Siegeability, always siegeability. Antoine, actually, who assigned me with this one? Let's take a look at something. Because I'll have to forgive this temporary pause here. Okay. The Earl of Brabant had assigned me with it, so we're going to name our first guy Earl of Brabant. Von Malberg, sorry, Malberg. You're not making any progress. That poor manpower pool. I gotta live. Wait, how do we have rebels? Antwerpen? Oh, it's because our burghers aren't happy with us at the moment. So let's deal with that. They'll get happy with us. We're making pretty good money. Okay, we'll get better troops here. That'll be fun. Okay, Utrecht is no longer a valid rival, that's fine. Now that we've eclipsed them, we get 10. So let's take Cleves, I think is probably a rival of Cologne, or ally. Okay, and let's top off relations with some of our allies here. Holy crap, they still haven't made a single bit of progress. It's been going on for 1,800 days. They don't have enough troops. Of course they're not making any progress. Okay. So they've got war exhaustion of 5 points here. I should have pulled the trigger already, because there's a chance that more people will join that trade link. So when we move in here, it's got a river crossing from both directions, so let's just go in. I'll take Gelra. No one's going to join us, but we're big boys. You can give up your siege if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. And they signed peace. Utrecht joined a different rival trade league. And we're making progress here. Let's actually pull our fleet out. If Genoa sends their fleet around, they could inflict some damage. But most of their ships are probably going to be trade ships running around down there. And the galleys won't perform as well here. And we are getting more and more ships. So. Oh, no, they're being bold. And they have 8 troops on those ships. So we're just going to hold out and see if we can wreck these guys. So I don't think we actually lost anyone there. No, we didn't lose any ships. They lost 2. So we wiped out their army. And let's see if we can get to Antwerpen before these guys do. So they have to attack into our waiting army. We wiped them out, and let's march north. We'll deal with these guys. Ferdinand of Austria. They just lose a ruler. Oh, we're going to improve our relations all the same. And just to spare manpower pool, we're going to call out a garrison here, stack wipe them, and move back up to Gelra. We need 9,000 men's. No, we don't. We need 3. Okay, so things are going well for us there. Yeah, we'll help you. Denmark, of course. You helped us. Oh, we need a royal marriage. Do we have a royal marriage with you? We'd better. Yeah, we do. Okay, let's get these ships back out to port to help with our siege. Blockade, rather. Have to take the prestige ship. Sadly, we are suffering some more exhaustion there. We've been in some battles, but not enough to really worry us. Okay, we're going to have to get these ships out of there. It looks like we're winning, so why don't we kill that transport first? Okay, so there are 6 troops. On that, but I think we can capture Galra before they can do any damage. Particularly since we've got all of these spies helping us with the siege. Okay. We're going to move south and deal with Genoese, and march right up north to deal with Oldenburg. Get wrecked. I think we're going to call back this guy. And see if we can peace out. Well, should we just take it? I think we're going to beat them up. We're not going to keep the province or anything. I meant take it in the sense of capture the province so that we could get stuff out of the war. Money. Precisely. Now, our fleet would be doing better if we hired an admiral. Just not sure that it's going to make all that much difference one way or another. Can't really justify spending some points. Okay, so what should we be paying attention to as Brabant? Well, we are a feudal monarchy. We have generic German ideas, which gives us better infantry. Later on, it's going to give us tech reduction. We'll get Diplo relations, but that's pretty far at the end. Or Diplo relations and extra slot. We'll get missionary strength, lowered unrest, better economy, and some prestige. All around, not awful ideas by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, France was giving us subsidies, which was a large part of our economic success. And Genoa can only send 2,000 troops to help down here. It's kind of sad. They're just suiciding their navies into us. This fleet could win, but it's not trying to. So we're just going to keep up this siege. And we're going to hold on to those points. Defeat their fleet and march on right back down here. I got these guys into our port, and we definitely want to take all of their money. Make them give up claims. That way other people are less upset with us. Ooh. Let's get this. Munster, sure. We're going to wait till the end of the month. So our ships are repaired, and we're going to send our fleet out and see if we can inflict some damage. Okay, I'm not sure if we lost any ships there. We did not. I think we might have captured a couple even. Alright, so we could probably take their territory. Not quite yet. They're not going to be able to put up much more of a fight. we definitely want to keep our relations with Austria as high as possible, as they are the emperor, and we're going to be taking illegal territory, which is why we are not teching up here. Improve relations with our other ally, Denmark. Okay. Okay, Galbra. It's time. You know it's time. Oh, Trounce too. There's nothing more to be said about it. We should back an imperial reform. All of them down to the first four. Economic reform. And while we're Catholic, we might as well improve relations with the papacy. We nearly got our ships repaired. And now we can inflict some significant damage. And we've got a really good admiral. And we built up our fleet some. So when they come here, so they just have galleys and transports. Let's hit them. Okay. Definitely don't want to lose any ships. I'm keeping a close eye on durability. And if any start to slip, yeah, we got one under half, but I think they're about to break. So we got one at 33. Let's push a little bit. Okay, we gotta get out of there or we're gonna lose the ship. So we sunk 7 of their ships. They won the battle, but they're not even gonna stay around, I don't think. Let's see if we can send peace here right at the end of the year. Okay, they would accept it. So this is good because this aggressive expansion, some of it's going to go away at the end of the year. So let's do that. Make it into a core. Start protecting trade here. And we're going to leave that unrest. Might have to deal with a rebellion. That's okay. Okay, so who can we make? We can make Utrecht and Liege. So we're going to issue an embargo here and there. And France is in a war against England that they have launched. Okay, Austria seems pretty happy with this, but let's top off those relations just a little bit more. And I am going to build yet another fort, just because our capital really needs one, and then we're going to build a trade building here because we have the cash. We'll get our admin tech up. We can make another unit, so I'll make some cavalry. Even though our infantry are pretty good being German ideas. Okay, so who around us can be picked on? That looks like a much stronger trade league than we just put down. That looks like a much stronger one. So these two we're going to leave alone. Aachen has no one protecting them, but they're free cities, so we're leaving them alone. Liege is our rival. So we're going to start building a spy network against them. And their allies Trier, who likes us but doesn't get along with Cologne. So Cologne might be willing to join them. So we didn't have the ideal starting position here. Rival of our rivals, Savoy, sure. That Burgundian inheritance happening when it did was definitely unfortunate for us, because it meant that we couldn't expand into this area. Austria could. But we're going to make do. I think we'll wait until we have claims on both of these provinces before we attack. That'll give us some time for the aggressive expansion to burn off. Okay. Austria got re-elected. Still got those royal ties with them. 11 aggressive expansion. Okay, so we are going to fabricate on Loon first. And we're lacking manpower. We spent a lot, but, you know, we trounced Gelre, and then Oldenburg and sieged both of them down, and beat up Genoa. So we were punching above our weight class. Okay, this is now ours, so we can make it a core. And our nobility wants some territory. This is an ideal nobility territory. So I'm tempted to give them one of our forts. I guess this would be the ideal fort for them. But I really can't justify doing that. We'll give Galver to him. We can switch that up with something else later. They'll either rise up or it'll tick down, one or the other. And we can make another unit of troops. We're just going to make some infantry. We're waiting for 25 spy power so that we can claim Liege. Yes, we can make a lot of income if we develop these provinces economically, so we're going to do that, put some buildings in. And see if our estates want to give us anything. Not quite to the point where we can get that. clergy. Let's get some papal influence. And we could get some manpower from them, so we might as well. I'd love to get our military tech up to 5 before we declare this war. But I don't think we really should wait that long. It'll be nice now that we have 2 coastal chord provinces, we can make ships twice as quickly. And we're going to wait a month to get this topped off. Okay. None of these look right. Let's wait till the start of the month. Declare this war. Can we get anyone involved? No. So we're going to go for taking Loon. See if we can wipe them. So let's wipe them out. Okay, we got that. Now we definitely have the troop count advantage. I don't know if Trier is even going to be able to do anything. So let's leave these 3,000 troops here and see if we have access. We do not. Not yet. If we see them start to cross over, we'll try to crush their army. So we could ask for access through Austria. Not sure if it's worth it to do that. We can just siege this down while we're getting men anyway. And speaking of that, let's top off relations with Austria. Okay, now we're going to top off relations with France, then Denmark, and then Cologne. And we're increasing our spy network here because it does give us a bonus to siege power, and that's right here, minus 3.2 effectiveness. And I think we still have that siege event is what's giving us siege ability. So we've got these nice modifiers. We got last jousting tournament. Let's see if there's any manpower guys here. No, but there's a morale one. Let's take that. We are starting to lag behind some other nations in military points, so we got score 1 here. I'm wondering if we should just vassalize them and integrate them in later. Okay, Denmark would join them because they owed us favors. That's really nice to know. We got this. Improve relations. No, we're going for the Diplo points. Provence has announced us as a rival, which is good because I think France is going to attack them at some point. Okay, so we captured their territory. Let's just move up here and loot for a couple months. This will give us a chance to reinforce these units as well. Can't do that quite yet. I don't mind running down the clock here because we've got so much aggressive expansion already. Taking Galra. We're only going to get more. Okay. So we're going to move down here and ask Austria for military access. I'm going to give it so we can now march across and hit this army. This will likely provoke somebody else to attack them. I'm just going to leave enough troops behind to stop them from being able to... Well, we could actually split these up. I don't think we really need to. Yeah, let's do it. We're not going to be starting immediate wars. So we got time for that manpower to recover. So let's see how much money Trier has. First got 133 ducats. It would be worth it to beat them up for their money. So we'll just wait till one of these forts falls, and then we'll take all of their cash. I don't think we can extract too much money from. We wiped out their army, but that didn't give us any war score, strangely. Sulfide papal relations, sure. Let's see. Still a little bit of aggressive expansion. Okay, so Koblenz fell to us. We might as well capture this just for the army tradition of sieging it, because we got 41.7, so that gave us a full 1 point. Anyone attacking them? Nope. So we want all of their money, with their war reparations, and let's isolate them. That's all we really need. Okay, so this could get us in a lot of trouble. So let's see. Oh, yes, it would. 56. We're not getting a call for peace, so we're just gonna wait on this. We really want a statesman or a diplomat to improve relations over time. Let's fire both of these guys. Let's see if we can get a diplomat for the end of the year. You're fired. Yuck. It's a lot of money, but it could make a huge difference to what we're able to do. Yep, we'll take this guy. Okay, so let's just take a look at what the numbers look like now. Still a lot of people. But we still haven't gotten that call for peace. So we can just hold out. And we really should be trying to improve relations with people who could potentially join a coalition. So we'll take a look at who that list is as soon as this guy gets back. There's a lot of people. So Friesland, Utrecht, Baden, Bavaria. Utrecht were rivals. That's not going to help. Trying to improve relations with them. Yeah, we could see some rebels pop up here, and that wouldn't be good. We definitely want to let this year tick by and then see what things would look like for signing in the subsequent year, and ideally sign a peace at the end of that year, at the end of 1464. Pacifies Friesland. I don't think we could ever hope to do that diplomatically. No. I mean, you can't really fight against that trade league. So I'm going to see what our other options are. Okay. I think Hesse was in that list. I know Bavaria was. Saxony was. So let's see what it would look like if we were to sign a peace deal right now. Still quite a few. But all of those, if we did it a few days before, would not be able to join the coalition. Because a few days before the year ends, that is. Including Utrecht. Now they would be really pissed at us, though. We're going to pay this down. So we'll have to be really tame for quite some time after that. Oops. That's what we're trying to do. This. We want Galilei infantry, so we attack better. Clone vote for us, that's never going to happen. Well, I guess we could. And we get diplomatic reputation out of it? Sure. they'll never vote for us when it truly comes down to it. Sure, Reform Desire is fine for us. Not sure what religion will end up being. We might say Catholic. Okay, we definitely want to sign peace like Christmas Day of this year. Okay, Merry Christmas, Utrecht. It'd still be 51. But we're going to do it. Gives us another fort. I'm not sure we want to pay for it. But we'll worry about that in a bit. Let's top off our relations with Austria. Okay, now we shouldn't. Oh, somebody got pissed. Austria's pissed at us. Okay, we could get this guy to try saving that relationship. Yeah, let's do it. Well, yeah, we're going to have to. Because otherwise they're going to demand this land back. We can switch it up with a better relations over time guy. So Utrecht can still join the coalition. I don't think anyone else has 50. And we can double check this. $49, all around 49. So our nobility wants more land. And we'll give them this. Let's top off relations with our ally here, and then we're just going to work on people that are upset with us. Manpower reserves need to recover. That's perfectly acceptable. So we are not able to wage any more wars for right now. We'll just start from the top here. Friesland, they actually like us still. That's great news. They're really bad judges of character, apparently. Okay, and in December we're going to switch to this guy. Late in the month. I got that, so we're now ahead of time in tech again. This will help our corruption tick down. Let's actually pay more into that. Okay, I'm going to pull this guy back and top off relations with Austria. Yet again. Definitely want to get this stuff cored before that alliance breaks. So that's one. Munster, I'll tell them that we're friendly. So we still got 47 aggressive expansion towards them. And we're going to make some buildings here and there. Chance of Gelrin rebels, so we'll move our army up there. Okay, Friesland. Frisia likes us. So we'll improve relations with them. I don't think we need to pay for all of our forts. Once this gets up to 50, we'll grant them monopoly charters. Well, we can do it right now and get them up to 57, so this would then take it up to 37. Yeah, so it does need to get a little bit higher. No, Austria, no. Let's get this guy back. Improve relations with Austria. Is anyone really upset with us? They seem rather chill about the fact that we got nearly 50 aggressive expansion with everyone around us. So I can make 2 more infantry. Can't really afford the maintenance, but it'd make us look stronger on paper, so it would definitely prevent coalitions in the future, and it might keep Austria friendly longer. And we've almost got this stuff cored. That'll help. It'll increase our diplomatic reputation. Hopefully now Austria will be less eager to break this alliance. So in the first of the year, if we're not improving relations with them, our improved relations will degrade by 3. So Austria's only getting 3 of the votes. We could snag 1 of them if we really tried, but they would win at the tie because they're the incumbent. Yep, diplomatic power and make France happy sounds good. Speaking of that, we should top off our relations with France. That's pretty important. Yeah. We're behind on both of these. Let's get the prestige. That helps our relations over time. And we want to get this idea anyway. So, who else? Lorraine. They're under personal unions. We don't care so much about them. Still 41 aggressive expansion. I wish Aachen wasn't a free city. I'd start having some ambitions on them. Really, Austria? Yeah, they're starting to be annoying with this crap. Sure, we'll give you access. We want everyone to like us as much as possible right now. When we get this administrative tech up, we can choose an idea group, and we clearly need to take influence. Let's grab the first idea right away. And we're getting that because we want this aggressive expansion impact minus 20%. That would be really nice for us to have. Obviously, it would have been nice for us to have earlier, but we do what we can. Succession war between Brabant and Austria. That'd be hilarious. I mean, we'd get stopped, so I don't welcome it. Just the fact that it happened would be hilarious. Let's see how long this video's been. So we're at just over an hour. We do have a lot of revolt chance here, but Galra is about to tick downward. It's now dropping, at least when we've got our full army stationed there. And that's nice. take quite some time for these other ones to tick down that much. What would happen if we let the Hussites win? Nothing good. Okay, let's improve relations with Austria again, top those relations off. If they threaten to break relations yet again, can't do anything about that, France. Tyrone separatists, loyal to Ulster. Maps need some work, gents. Okay, so we can... Oh, we can get another. Okay, here, we'll get Aachen as a rival. And embargo them. So that gives our power projection back up above 25, so we get another leader slot, supposed to. Alright, so that gets us an extra point per month. And we're going to take the second one here for more prestige per year. Now, what do we need to form the Netherlands? So we need Zeeland and Holland. So those two. We also need Utrecht and Friesland. So just these four. That's tall order. As it requires beating up on Austria. And probably taking about 50 aggressive expansion or more worth of territory. And fighting two trade leagues. Two different trade leagues. We have 16 favors with Denmark, that's nice. Only got 5 with France. Clave's a little upset with us. Okay, that's nice. Savoy, sure. And we're still making some money. I think we can afford to pay our forts. We've almost got this unrest down. Austria's getting beat up a bit. Are they winning? And they're losing. But not badly. Why would you guys spy on us? We're a peaceful nation. Look at our manpower. It's full. Means we're good neighbors. Pull this back and top off relations to Austria to try protecting that alliance. Pretty nice that we were able to maintain all three of these alliances this far. Now, Austria and France are rivals, so it wouldn't surprise me if France at some point does attack the Empire. Okay, Utrecht left that coalition against us. And from the looks of this, there might be other coalitions they're going to form. So if anyone is less careful than us, they could be the ones targeted. Okay, getting pretty close to Loon, ticking downward. But we're going to move into Liege. Well, 20%? No. We'll just put down those rebels. Okay, we're an hour and a half in. Less than 30 years in game, we got our independence. We picked up 3 provinces from our initial 4, so we've nearly doubled in size. And what we really need is get this legitimacy higher and get rid of a lot of this aggressive expansion. There's not a whole lot that we can do about that there, guys. I'm going to top these relations off. Sorry, I had this. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Not bad, General. Not great, but not awful. I've nearly brought down the revolt risk in this province enough to have 0. 3. So we really need this legitimacy to increase. So we can do this and that. Still 6 years ahead of time on diplomatic technology. And Austria's trying to put that war around a little bit. I think they have the momentum on their side. Okay, so these guys are ticking downward. These guys are ready to revolt. Austria can be our rival? That's silly. Clone. There's no way that's reasonable for Austria to be our rival. Sure, Bavaria, you can move through our territory. Seems legit. Okay, 1 more month and we'll be done with these Hussite heretics. I think we'll just move these troops onto Liege. So we can always move these troops back. 40 ducats to get 10 prestige, I guess. Prestige helps better relations over time. So, speaking of that, we should try investing in becoming the Pope. See if we can get these down. They can pop back up. But for now, at least we got that down to 0. A clone vote for us. Sure, we'll try. Okay, so we crushed them. We'll drop this army of maintenance in half now. Top off relations with France. And Clone is voting for us. Become Emperor. That's a long shot. Austria's only getting 1 vote, but it looks like Bohemia will become the next emperor. We couldn't reasonably get any of these other votes, so I'm not going to waste our time on that one. We could get our legitimacy up, and I'm going to spend our points to do that. I mean, papal controller is just too unlikely, but they're not giving us any other options, so we'll work on that. Improve relations with the Pope in an effort to get more papal influence. Yeah, I wonder if we could take that trade league. We could call in Denmark. They'd probably back us up if they're at peace, but they're not. Let's see how much aggressive expansion people still have. 22. Okay. Cologne starting a war here. Let's get in here. Okay. That's 12,000 men. We could take them if our numbers are full. Let's just wait for them to make a mistake. Okay, we're going to give the burghers loan. Yeah, let's see why not. They're going to get 2 base tax. Sure, we could just ask them for money then. And we'll spend it to put in a building here. So boom, bump up our income even further. Okay, who's controlling the siege? We are. Good. Aragon wants to move through our territory. Seems legit. Expect to see lots of Aragonese troops up here. I mean, they were exiled anyway, so not sure what that's about. Loan. Okay, and they just got wrecked. So Cleves and Frankfurt. I don't think we really need any more war participation, so we're just going to try looting a little. If there's loot to be had, there is. France claimed our territory, they did. Okay, 7 favors. And some truces. We didn't get any aggressive expansion there. Didn't use too much manpower. Got some prestige and army tradition. And we got some cash out of it, so yeah, that's fine. I think this is the appropriate place for us to stop the video. So this is our first video as Brabant. And when we pick up the next one, I think our goal is going to be to try expanding a little. We're going to have to play it safe, but we've shed off about 35 aggressive expansion from the time we signed that piece. So that's about 2/3 of the way down. Still, a lot of countries have about 15 to 16. With our allies, there's none. And certain countries outside the German region, for instance, don't seem to care. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to save this. And I'll see you guys soon.